मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स पर आप कह सकते हैं, मोशन ऑफ थैंक्स पर एलओपी ने अपनी बात कही, उसको आपने एक्सपंज कर दिया। एलओपी ने कौन सी ऐसी बात कही जो असंसदीय है?
बैठिए बैठिए, एक मिनट बोले प्रमोद जी, बैठिए बैठिए। अदर्स में टेक सीट प्लीज, टेक सीट।
पार्लियामेंट में, उड़ीसा असेंबली में, कर्नाटक असेंबली में मैंने 3-4 उदाहरण देखे। जो शब्द नेता विरोधी दल ने प्रयोग किए हैं वो पूरी तरह पार्लियामेंट्री है। यहीं बैठकर मनमोहन सिंह जी ने इन शब्दों का प्रयोग किया था और वो आपकी कार्रवाई में सम्मिलित है, आप देख लें। तो मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूं, आप ही के आदेश का पालन हो रहा है कि भाई 267 में नहीं, जब राष्ट्रपति के भाषण पर चर्चा हो बोल लेना, उसमें बोल रहे हैं। तो वो भी अगर नहीं सुना जाएगा तो सर ये संसद का निर्माण जो हुआ है, इसकी जो परंपराएं हैं, आप हमेशा कहते हैं परंपराओं की रक्षा होनी चाहिए, तो मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूं उन परंपराओं की रक्षा करिए। वो जो भी शब्द निकाले गए हैं उन्हें कार्रवाई का अंग बना रहने दें, ये मेरा नम्र निवेदन है।
ऑनरेबल मेंबर्स, I examine the proceedings in the light of rules framed by the House, and Rule 261 casts an obligation on me to make such sweeping observations that everything has been removed is not appropriate. I expect the honorable members first to go through what has been expunged. I have one second, sir. Please, 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 please. I would urge you again that we are in a house where some decorum has to be maintained. I have taken my call. Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal. One second. Please take your seat, Honorable LOP.
सर, जो चीज रूल्स के तहत, प्रोसीजर के तहत यहाँ पर बोली जाती है, मैं नहीं समझा कि मेरे स्पीच में कोई ऐसा अनपार्लियामेंट्री और किसी के ऊपर एलिगेशन नहीं था। लेकिन फिर भी उसमें आप चुन चुन के चंद शब्दों का गलत अर्थ निकाले, ऐसा तो नहीं बोलूंगा कि आपको उसके बारे में कुछ अगर संशय है तो वो अलग ढंग से पूछ सकते थे। लेकिन आपने मेरे 6 जगह जो मैंने शब्द इस्तेमाल किए थे, मौनी बाबा और दूसरे,
I would appreciate what I have explained should not be used.
तो
what I have explained should not be used.
अरे नहीं साहब, इस सदन में बोले सो मैं बोल रहा हूँ। नरसिंह राव जी चीफ व्हिप रखते हैं हमारे पार्टी की ओर से और सदन की ओर से रखते हैं, तो आप उनको बार बार टोकते रहते हो, ये ठीक नहीं है, आप बैठिए, आप पढ़िए। अब बहुत अच्छा पढ़ के आए साहब, वो तो हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट है, अच्छा जानते हैं, हिंदी जानते हैं, कन्नड़ा जानते हैं, इंग्लिश जानते हैं, हिंदी जानते हैं और कौन सी भाषाएं, तो इसीलिए और संसदीय भाषा जानते हैं। इसके बावजूद भी आप उनको टोकते ही रहते हो। जो मेरा डिफेंस में आता, हर राइट्स को टोकना, ये ठीक नहीं है। कृपया आप और एक बार उसको देखिए।
अल्टीमेट डिफेंडर ऑफ द एलओपी इज द चेयरमैन।
नहीं, वो नहीं हो रहा ना सर, वो नहीं हो रहा, आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
डॉक्टर अशोक कुमार मित्तल, I have taken 0 hour. Not present. Shri Binoy Vishwam.
No. Thank you, sir. With a saddened heart and with lot of protest, I stand here. My concern and our concern, I should call it, is regarding the miseries of the Manrega workers. Mahatma Gandhi force in this country. And those people.
Taking this across to my colleague Pallavi Ghosh, who's joining us on the broadcast. Pallavi, the fact that Rahul Gandhi yesterday after Prime Minister's speech had mentioned how the Prime Minister chose not to answer any of the questions that were put forth in the Parliament by him. Similar allegations were reiterated by Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, claiming that the Prime Minister has been a mute spectator. He's not really answered any of those questions, and that really stands expunged at the moment. Just take us through the proceedings that are happening. What is expected today, considering there is a speech in the Rajya Sabha that is also now awaited?
Yes, a motion of thanks response of the Prime Minister in Rajya Sabha, because that's where the debate has ended, or is going to end in fact today. But I think the morning shows the day. I mean, I think the Congress party's line is going to be very simple. That one, the Prime Minister remains silent on the issue of Adani, no explanation coming in from the government, no discussion also being allowed. And second, of course, is that why is it that Rahul Gandhi's comments, the Congress President's comments are being expunged? We just heard what Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge had to say a short while back. One of the words which has been expunged, he said, has already been used by Narasimha Rao for Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and it happens to be a part of the parliamentary records. But you have expunged those words, which means Congress leaders are being systematically targeted. So now what we're going to see, the Congress strategy from the government's silence over the Adani issue to how the freedom of speech and expression is being curtailed because the Speaker and the Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha are specifically targeting few selected leaders of the opposition.
Absolutely. And Pallavi, the fact that Rahul Gandhi was very, very critical about the statements that he'd made after the Prime Minister's speech. Anything similar that, of course, the opposition will be latching on to today before that address really happens in the Parliament?
See, unlike in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, I think the opposition is definitely much more aggressive in terms of the sheer numbers, and the NDA still hasn't matched up to the opposition numbers. So you're going to see them a little bit more belligerent, and but they won't want to hear the Prime Minister out. Of course, they're going to be raising the objections, and I think the Prime Minister's speech is going to be pretty much the same as it was in Lok Sabha, where he's not going to let go of the opposition. Those attacks will take place certainly on the opposition. But as far as the opposition parties are concerned, they have made up their mind that even after the Parliament session is over, they are going to keep on asking these questions and keep the pressure going on the government. That when there is an important issue of national importance, why is it that the government has remained silent, not even allowing a debate and discussion, no setting up of the JPC, and the Prime Minister's motion of thanks response did not even make any reference to it.
Right. Pallavi, thank you so much. Taking this across to Arunima as well, who is with us on the broadcast. Arunima, so much of expunging of portions of speeches happening by the opposition. Clearly, the opposition is going to up its ante against the centre, calling a gagging of dissent and calling that out, so to speak.
Yes, and there's a pattern to this, because even when in Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi was speaking, at the end of his speech, Lok Sabha Speaker actually pointed out that I have allowed you to make your entire speech. I hope you don't go out and say that your microphones are switched off and you're not allowed to raise your voice. To which Rahul Gandhi stood up and said, "But you do that, Speaker sir." So this has been a narrative that opposition has been carrying out outside also. During Bharat Jodo Yatra also, this narrative was played out, and now again, exactly this is the narrative that opposition led by Congress party is pushing, that first you would switch off our microphones and not let us talk. Now when you've allowed us to talk, whatever we have said is not going on record. And why is going on record so important? Because, years later, when parliamentary archives are looked at, when historically you want to assess as to who said what in these debates, opposition members, everything that they've alleged, everything that they've charged the government with will not be part of record. So even though it is present right now on social media, they feel that, historicity and authenticity of their remarks will go if it is expunged.
And, pretty much something similar that I wanted to ask you and understand also for our viewers, Arunima, that everything that is being expunged in the parliament, in whatever has been said on the floor of the house, finds mention now in social media, that dissent has now shifted to social media because the opposition is claiming that they are left with no other option.
And that's the sad part of technology. This entire rule about the chair being given the right to expunge meant that, and even now when you see the press release that is coming in or the statement that is coming in, says that the print and the electronic media are requested that these are the parts that the chair has ruled and